Super Mario.
Super Mario. All right. Do we have it before? Usually we do first cheers on recording, but we're not drinking anything currently, and I can't be asked getting out of this chair and getting a drink.
That's a big move because I can't be fucked either.
Perfect.
So let's just get into it.
Yep. So theme song.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Implications of Phineas and Ferb podcast.
There's 365 days in a gap year, and Uni's gonna come and end it. So the once in a lifetime problem for us is to find a good way to spend it.
Making a podcast. That sure was a great theme song that we just definitely heard.
Anyway, season 2, episode 9 of Phineas and Ferb. Let's take a quiz and at the car wash.
It's a good song.
Yes, it is a good song. It's not in this show, unfortunately. That's okay because they make their own bangers.
Yeah. So you've got the first episode. I've got the second episode.
Yes, and first up, Candace finally realizes she can use Phineas and Ferb to her advantage.
It only took her 2.5 seasons.
It only took her this long to realize that if she needs something,
ask the boys.
If she just asks the boys, she doesn't even have to ask politely, and they're like,
yeah, sure, 100%.
Okay.
I'm a supportive
because she
brother.
sees, she hears from a bunch of people. Jeremy's on TV now.
He's on TV.
He's a movie star.
Well, you can't compete with that.
He's too good for her. He already was too good for her.
He was too good for her way earlier than this, and this doesn't change how good he is.
No.
And of course, he's a movie star. He was in The Witcher. He was known for his role as Superman in
and then there was
Justice
that
League,
beautiful video of him making his own personal PC, which is easily his best role yet.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway,
apart from, as Jeremy and Phineas and Ferb, obviously.
Yeah, so he's been everywhere. He's already a movie star. I don't understand Candace's logic here.
Yeah,
why are we worried now? Just because your friend puts it on her blog. Anyway, so she's like, well, if he's on TV, I've got to be on TV. I have to do it.
Can't argue with that logic.
But it's so hard to get on TV, Stacey. How am I going to get on TV? How am I possibly going to do that? Looks out her window.
Phineas and Ferb.
I'm making a TV
Why would
thing.
you not already be thinking that?
I would have just yelled out my window, you're Phineas and Ferb, can you make me on TV today? They would have been like,
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, we've got nothing better to do. And they're not just making a TV show and sending it to a broadcast station. They're designing their own broadcast.
Yeah, and it's going to be,
I
think, 24/7 before it, didn't go so well. I've forgotten
Let's take a quiz.
Let's take a quiz.
Let's take a quiz. That leads into one of my points. They built a whole theme song with CGI and a good catchy tune and all this stuff going on. Very nice.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was banger.
I'd watch it if I...
Imagine putting effort into your theme song.
Okay, so then Perry goes down to Monogram, and his entrance for starters is linked to the TV thing. He's trying to use the remote to get in. Doesn't work. Picks up the other remote and presses a button on it, and then it opens. And I'm like,
classic.
But also,
classic.
That's what one of those useless buttons does on your TV. You know how there's like 4,000 buttons?
Yeah, and only like 3 or 4 of them actually do anything.
Yeah, that you
use the
want
4
to do.
arrow keys, you use the home button.
The OK.
You use the OK,
return,
you use the power button, you
and
use
guide.
the volume buttons. Yep, easy.
Done.
It's not hard.
One of them opens your TV's front screen so a platypus can jump through.
And if you don't have an emergency platypus entrance in your TV...
Are you really living?
Yeah, exactly.
You obviously
How are the
don't
platypuses
own
going to get to their job?
A platypus like Phineas and Ferb and ourselves.
Mm.
Because it's recommended.
Because every Australian owns a platypus.
Yeah, when
This is
you
well
pick
known,
up the platypus from the pet store, they're like, now, this is a TV remote, and we also have to install this TV. Go down to Harvey Norman's, they'll get you one.
But I cannot stress this enough. Don't think about what it does. Just accept the free TV that comes with the platypus. Don't think about it. Always keep this remote there. Your other remote will work on your TV, but you still got to keep this remote.
Yeah,
Like you don't.
they
you don't get
both
to swap
have
them
to
out.
be within reach,
Mm-hmm.
and ignore the fedora. Well done with your purchase of a platypus.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Oh, and by the way, if you're ever going to a store, just like for us, do a little double check. Make sure that the store owners can speak platypus.
Yes. We can't teach you it, obviously, because you're not a retail worker. But if you were a retail worker, we'd teach you how to speak platypus. Anyway, he gets down into with Monogram, and Monogram's having quite an intimate
Massage.
with Carl. And he's
Giving Carl a massage.
giving Carl his massage, and he's like, I've lost the bet. Like, this is part of the bet. And we're like, all right, fair enough. Guys do dumb things in bets.
What's the bet?
I want to know, like, what would you bet with Carl? I didn't realize he'd give him that much respect to even offer him anything.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't.
But I did like Carl that he won. And he gets a massage. He gets to
Good on Carl.
put fingers in his boss's mouth and move his lips like he was talking.
like this and talk.
I wouldn't do that with any of my bosses.
Yeah, no. This is very much a pre-pandemic show because there's no way in hell that someone that I don't, even someone that I do live with, I'm putting my fingers in their mouth.
I'm not doing that.
That's
for anyone
just
or
not for
anyone.
anyone. That's a step too far.
But
We've
like
got a
moving
crisis
their
going
lips
on.
and yeah,
It is kind of funny though.
it is quite hilarious. And he's like, again, part of the bet. All right, that seems fair.
Big rip.
Then Carl gives Perry his mission, and then he goes off screen, comes back in a clown costume, continues to massage Carl, and says, "This wasn't a part of the bet."
Now,
I'm so.
I'm not quite sure what the fuck's going on there.
I'm not sure what they're implying. I've written down the most tame solution, which is Monogram likes dressing as a clown. All right, and the bet of a massage still counts, and the clown's just a thing.
I mean, he's probably feeling like a clown about that. He may as well dress up like one.
It might as well go all out with the clown costume.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird.
It's very weird, but you know, Monogram's a weird fellow. He wants to be an acrobat.
Talking about even weirder fellows, Perry's nemesis.
Doof.
I want you to put nemesis in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just put that in there right now.
Cool.
Doof's nemesis. No, Perry's nemesis. Doof is also a crazy fella. He's got addicted to infomercials. He's bought so much. All that alimony payment going down the drain.
Big rip to his wife's money or his ex-wife's money.
Have you ever had someone in your family get addicted to infomercials?
Nope.
My grandma was kind of close.
Oh, mum kind of almost did. She got a couple of infomercial products back to back, but they were also ones that she like actually needed.
Right.
Like
an infomercial product you actually needed. You're
yeah,
kidding.
like she
I need it every day to slice, dice, and mince my X thing.
Yeah, it was literally one of those because she had an
the
old
NutriBullet. I remember
it was
she had a
something. Yeah, it was
NutriBullet.
something like that where it was she had a thing that would slice carrots that she'd been using for like 10 years, where you just run it back and forth and it slice carrots, and then that broke, and she was like, "Well, I need something else that'll slice carrots quick because using a knife is for suckers." So she bought like a one of those Insta-Chop thingies, and she did it like a couple times in a row, and I was like, "Are you getting addicted?" But she was like, "No, I needed them." And I was like, "Righto."
All right.
She's really
This
addicted to
close.
getting clothes, so that's the real.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
You've got to wear clothes. Anyway, Doof just buys fucking everything.
He
Things
does,
that
yeah.
I didn't even know existed or should exist. And I think that's part of the joke. And so then his big plan, he makes an innator, and I've forgotten, but I think it was the meltonator or something, or the immersial innator. Anyway, his plan is to melt the TV towers, so then they can't send him infomercials.
Now, this is a classic set up a thing that's going to destroy the thing and then not use that
Yeah,
thing.
because right now, as they are doing this,
You're sitting there and you're thinking, I see what you're doing here.
I
Jeff and
see how this
Swampy,
is
I
gonna
got
go.
I got you.
Phineas and Ferb are
That's
currently
serious.
making a TV show and broadcasting it, and he's made a melting machine to melt TV things. We know where this is going.
Yeah, exactly.
As an audience, expectations have been set.
But Jeff and Dan, they don't
play by your rules.
They don't play by your rules.
They play
don't
by their own.
they don't mess around. They don't treat their audience as stupid. And that's
No.
why we love them.
And he just whips out his shrinkinator that's still plugged in. He doesn't really whip it out, it's there. And Perry slaps his head against it, and it causes the things to shrink.
Got him.
Love it.
Shrinkinator. The
Love it.
return of one of the classic innators. I've got a bunch of good lines from this episode.
Okay.
So we've got Candace is talking to Stacey on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and Stacey doesn't suggest that she go to Phineas and Ferb, but she comes up with that idea completely independently on her own. And she
Yes.
goes, Stacey, you're a genius. And Stacey responds with, can you tell my mum that? I'm like,
I believe you'd be in a similar scenario if anyone ever said that to you.
Yeah, that is a big mood. It's a shame it's never going to happen. Big rip. We get when he's announcing the contestants.
Mhm.
I didn't write the whole line down, but I did write down that Buford's full name is Buford Van Stom.
Yeah, the Van Stoms. Or
Mhm.
Stomps. Isn't it Van Stomp?
No, Van Stom.
Right. Yeah,
Mhm.
Buford comes from a rough family.
That doesn't sound rough. That sounds like royalty.
Isn't that German?
Van Stom?
Van
Yeah.
Stom.
Probably. I don't know. And
It sounds rough to me.
I can't be fucked Googling it, so we're just
Can
going
you
to...
imagine marrying
that.
into a family called the Van Stoms?
I would just keep my own name.
No, but like, you can't. You don't get a choice.
Oh, because they're the Van Stoms.
The lovely lady's going to be like, I'm sorry, but it's Van Stomp for you.
Or man. We don't need to discriminate on this
I
podcast.
was talking about your
Oh, me
sexuality.
specifically.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, fair enough.
but
That's...
if it
Okay, cop that. No, cop that.
whatever's
Yeah, that makes...
two
yeah.
sweaty guys
I
in a
thought-
hot booth, 5 feet apart, because we're not.
Because... It's such a good vine.
I love that.
I'm a big fan. Did you know that the guy from Smosh, Anthony, the one in the Assassin's Creed video
Ooh,
that's like
okay.
Tomahawk Chop is my death boy.
Oh,
That's the
yes.
guy who did that vine.
I like it even more.
Yeah, I know, right?
I like both of those content of like top tier,
But
and now
knowing
that
that
they
they're-
are linked,
They're
makes them
both elevated. Yeah. They've elevated each other, held each other up. That really surprised me. Some more good lines. Candace comes out and goes, "Here's the deal, I'm the star." And Ferb goes, "Well, all right then."
Yeah, we thought he was
Phineas
going to be
goes,
like, well, actually, I plan no. He's like, well, yeah, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I can
That's
make
fair
changes.
enough because
You're
they're
gonna have-
supportive.
Yeah, you're just going to have to kick off one of my friends off the stage, but that's okay. You're my sister. You finally take an interest in our inventions. I'm chill with this.
Mm.
I
yeah.
wanted to point out what Ferb did during
During the
quiz
show.
So Phineas is running it, and it's a pretty nonsensical quiz. I have no idea what was going on. Neither did Candace. I think it was about who could say the most random word at once, and I'm actually kind of impressed because I'd struggled to say the words, like just think of those words when they do.
There were some good ones.
There were some good words.
Did you write any of the good words down?
Well, there was procrastination, which really stuck out for me. For particularly no reason. It's not like I'm meant to be doing something right now and instead recording a podcast with my friend. That's life. And some other just made up words. I think there was like spilbadoosh and
Fizz buzz or something.
yeah, fizzbuzz. Classic stuff. Oh, and there was the why not backwards.
Oh yeah, I wrote that one
Tony.
down. He's like Tony, and Phineas is like correct, and he's like and Candace goes, "Why not?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's Tony backwards." Like, why not's on the board?
Like, woo, he smashed it. Okay, so what Ferb's doing as the answers pop up, he's the person next to the bill, like next to the answers, and that's always in a game show a woman. And so Ferb's doing a bit of light cross-dressing, and when I say light, I mean very, very hard cross-dressing, because he goes hard. There's at least 5 different costumes,
Mm-hmm.
at least.
At least.
And they range from like normal game show host to I'm walking in the Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, they're pretty insane.
One of them was Cleopatra, I'm pretty sure.
And he changes like he's like
Yeah, he's a man who's all over it. He knows what he's doing.
he's one blink cut away from changing clothes, and that is quite phenomenal.
Yes. Some more lines. Stacey says, "I know it's true because Megan's blog says she thinks so." Which I just think is like some classic
Just
teenager, just funny hijinks, you know?
Yeah.
And then my favorite line in this episode, and one of my favorite lines in all of Phineas and Ferb, it never fails to make me laugh, is when they're on the game show and he's talking to Candace, and Candace goes, "Wait, so what questions are we actually asking?" And Phineas goes, "I'm sorry, all questions must be phrased in the form of an answer."
How would you phrase any question in the form of an answer?
it's beautiful wording. It's a funny pun. It's
good.
Just enjoy it.
Another kind of line, but also wraps up this episode. At the end, they've all been shrunk. It's all gone away. Candace is like, "Oh, I was a movie star," and she got beaten up. We should have probably mentioned that. Like, she got physical trials, as it were, and she just got smashed.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb have repeatedly shown that while they like to make Candace happy, and they're good people and they're good-hearted, they aren't quite aware of the physical limits of a human body that isn't imbued with cosmic power.
Yeah.
So they will, trash people just accidentally.
Mainly Candace. Because
Candace.
whenever Candace gets involved in one of their inventions...
Because it's funny to watch Candace get beaten up, obviously.
She gets physically hurt with, like, sinks and pies and ovens and crap.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you can take an interest, and we like you not
I'd say a
busting us.
pie to the face is less insane than a sink to the face.
But as long as you're on our side, we will slap you with a pie.
Yeah, and fair enough. They're Phineas and Ferb. They're doing all this crap. They're always doing favours for Candace. It's not her fault that she's insane. Like, it's not their fault that she's insane.
It's not their fault. They only slap her with pies and make inventions disappear behind her back. Well, they don't do that, but yeah.
So the set gets shrunk down by the Doofenshmirtz, and we're on to the next episode.
No, Jeremy turns up first.
Of course, Jeremy turns up.
He's the sweetest boy, and she's trying to be hard. Oh, no, isn't the next one?
No, that's the next episode.
Okay. He shows up, and he's like, yeah, this is the TV commercial I was in.
He was a foot model.
And he was advertising thongs.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see Andrew Cavill in a thong. No, he was advertising flip-flops, or jandals, as it were, thongs in Australia, and that is the correct term. You can fight me later.
And people are like, why would you call it a thong when the thong underwear already exists? And I'm like, well, welcome to Australia, right? We name things that have already got names. Like, for example, thong and thong, or chip and chip. Fries.
Yeah, apparently people call them fries and
fries, crisps. Fuck out of here with that shit. Chips and chips.
Yeah, I'll have chips, crunch. I'll have chips, crunch, but less crunch because they're the hot chips. And then I'll have chips. What's the other one?
You got casino chips, I guess, as well.
Oh, you got casino chips?
Yeah, but like they're called that everywhere, so that's less fun,
Yeah, there's lots of chips. Oh, the only difference is when you come to wedges.
Yeah, you call wedges. We're not barbarians, come on.
But wedges in their construction are chips.
Oh, bro, I could go for some fucking wedges with sour cream and
sweet chili. That would be good.
Potato is by far the best vegetable, isn't it?
It is.
Because
you can do anything with it.
Yeah, it's as I've always said. You can mash it. You can make hash browns. You can make chips. You can make fries. You can make crisps. You can make
as we would say, you can make chips, and chips.
Yeah, you can make chips, and chips.
And more chips.
You can make anything. You make wedges. You're having a great time. You're eating all the potatoes. You're like, this cannot get any better.
This is all physical food. This is all a solid that I can eat and consume. There is no way
that potatoes can get any better. What's vodka made out of?
Fucking potatoes.
Because potatoes are the best vegetable.
No wonder the potato famine just murdered people. They didn't have vodka to get them through it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the best vegetable. Easy peasy. Anyway, on to episode 2. This is the one that I had the synopsis for, and I'll be honest, I took less notes for this one than I did for the first one.
Jeremy has wonderful feet. I just wanted to end it with. He's got chunky ankles, as Candace would say. And I'm like, okay.
It's now that we've, almost 10 years later, and we're in the current age of simps and internet culture, foot fetish people, it's like, Jeremy, I would sooner throw myself off a balcony than I would post feet pics on the internet, because those will be around forever. Those will haunt you. You'll get some message in like 30 years time, and they'll be like, these your feet, and like one of those weird emojis that's like, there's nothing wrong with it on face value, but because it's being used by the cringe crowd of like above 50-year-old people, it ends up being like the sideways laughing emoji or something like that.
Yeah,
Same sort of vibe, but it's like meant to be sexy, and you'll be like, I don't want to talk to you. And that's the risk you take by putting your feet on the internet. So don't do it.
At the car wash.
Yes, they make a car wash.
At the car wash, yeah.
I love how they're thinking of all of these amazing things to do. Phineas is like, we're going to build a zip line from this. So, context. The Fireside Girls are trying to raise money to save
Yeah, and Phineas
moles.
does the thing Isabel does and says, "What you doing?"
What you doing? Very sweet. And I love how the Fireside Girls are always supporting them, but when it comes time to support the Fireside Girls, they're also there for it.
Phineas is there. He's hot dang there.
He's like,
Hot damn. Does
I
he
am
say damn?
all over it. Yeah, he. Yeah, great little joke where he keeps saying "dang," and then he's like, I can't really pull that off.
It's going to
can
be
I?"
the best dang car
Car
wash
wash,
in the
yeah.
whole dang world. I can't really pull that off, can I?
Ferb's like, "You're not that street," and it's like normally if you were
Where's Perry?
normally if you were in a show when you make jokes that like you're not that hip and all that sort of stuff, it always comes across as cringy because it's aged a little bit. But they're kind of doing it ironically, where it's just the word "dang" is apparently street when the word "dang" has existed for like
and
ages.
Doof uses it later, and he's like, "Oh, I went a little street there." And I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
It's very vague. It's funny. So Phineas is totally there to help the Fireside Girls,
Yep.
and we love to see it. So he's like, "We're gonna build this zip line from here to here. It's gonna be beautiful." And as well as like, "Or we could do a car wash." And he's like, "Or we could do a car wash."
I do want to say, before she's like bake sale, cat sitting, and all these things that have gone horribly, I don't understand. Like, those Fireside Girls have built an entire stage in a few hours.
And as is known
Mm.
from a previous episode, the Fireside Girls are known to be quite ruthless. Like, they'll
They-
stare at you through your window, and they'll guilt trip you into buying those goddamn cookies. I
Until
don't see
you make an invisibilinator to
Yeah.
make them invisible.
exactly. I don't see why their aggressive tactics did not work enough to get money from old ladies to save the Badger
Yeah,
Moles.
even if they were burnt cakes, which of course they wouldn't be if the Fireside Girls
These
actually
Fireside
did them,
Girls always deliver.
they would be able to get the money out of they'd be able to get the money out of anyone.
You know, the most universal constant in this entire show is that the Fireside Girls never, ever fail to deliver.
Yeah, except
Like-
in this one, which gets me a bit worried because
Yeah, but it's also their own. Yeah, no, that is a good point. Because yes, like Phineas and Ferb do fail sometimes. That's
Yeah,
part of the
'cause-
coolness of their characters.
semi-occasionally.
It's very rare. They're still badasses, but that like for character beats, they're like sometimes they can't always do stuff. Wasn't that a character beat in the Second Dimension movie? I don't know. I haven't seen Second Dimension yet.
I don't remember it, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, neither. We'll watch that. sometime.
Candace Against the Universe was the best movie they made, and then they did some great crossovers, and I can't wait to watch the Star Wars one.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
It is the best Star Wars content ever created.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mandalorian.
Anyway, Phineas and Ferb are like, "We'll help you out. We'll make a car wash," and yeah,
Not any old car wash, though. They're like
super car wash.
super car wash. It starts off, we see the Uber water gun thing, and he shoots it at Candace's face, ruins her face, I presume, and her room. Because they were just
Drench her room,
Drench her
ruin
room.
all of her photos of Jeremy and
her
her
bedding.
phone and her bed, and yeah,
Have to wash it all.
big rip.
Alright, and while that's happening, Doof's struggling with the concept of don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah, so he's struggling to understand that that's supposed to be a metaphor.
Have you ever had someone tell you don't make a mountain out of a molehill?
I have not.
That's because it's not a really common saying here.
Yeah, in
At
Australia,
all.
it's more
Don't cry me a river.
don't be a little bitch, but that too.
Yeah,
I guess.
don't be a little bitch and don't cry me a river. Unfortunately now, due to drought,
It's,
don't,
it's like if
do
you're gonna
me a
cry,
river.
may as well cry
I
enough
mean-
that you can support your local town. Because we're on level 4 water restrictions, and we have been for like 7 months. And it's like, can we please just have a bit of rain? And then the nature's like, okay, we'll give you a bit of rain. And I'm like, I meant sustained rain over a week
Not a
or two,
flood.
not just a flash flood.
Yeah, and so with level 4 water restrictions come with the caveat that is, if you say don't cry me a river, you will be immediately slapped with a fine.
Yeah,
Our council will come to you, slap you, and then hand you the $400 fine because
they need that river.
saying no to water is a no-go. Anyway, don't make
Mountain out of a molehill.
shut the fuck up. That's about it, really.
Yeah, in Doof's flashback, I didn't record any. Oh, can't actually talk
Can't
about
actually talk about it. I was about to stop you there, but I'm
Yep.
glad your own mind has realised what is happening here.
Yep.
If you want to watch the Doof backstory,
go watch the
the
episode
show.
because we don't discuss them on the show.
Oh, except for how good they are. And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
missing out if you don't watch the episode.
This one's a classic little doof backstory, just a
Yes,
little
but
quick
not
1-2
the
thing.
hilarious little one.
Mm.
I love Doof's motivation once again. So
Mm.
people have been telling him this thing for years and years and years. So what's he going to do? The exact thing the metaphor is trying to portray, but not the exact thing, like not the figurative thing, but the physical
Literal
thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, please.
I support that. What are some other metaphors that
That
you
if
could
you
turn,
took-
that you
well,
could take them literally?
We've already discussed the river one
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one we want.
And- Can you think of any metaphors? Because I can't.
See, I would say stop being a little bitch, but there's no way that's going to happen with you.
It's also not a metaphor. It's just a statement.
Oh, surely there's something.
Yeah,
We can cut thinking out.
I'm sure we're gonna come up with some as soon as the show's done.
Yeah, no, that's how life works.
Anyway, I have a little bit of a gripe with Phineas in this episode because they're like, we're gonna make the best car wash ever, and we're gonna raise money to save the moles. And I'm like, or you could give them some of that milkshake money you got lying around because you clearly have it because you build this massive ass big car wash and you get stuff airlifted in to use.
So they are either making a butt ton of profit to give to the charity, or they're investing the money into something that they're doing for fun and not making much money for the charity, if anything.
Either way, give them some of that milkshake bar money.
Just give them the money. You have some to spare. Make a significant donation, as it were.
Be a large corporation in the middle of an American election and make a significant donation. You know
Oh, like our bloody airport. God damn.
what happened?
So you know how the talks of getting a second airport in Sydney have been going for like
Yeah,
since Sydney's existed, pretty much.
pretty much. Yeah.
Bloody 50 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
They actually finally bought the land
Wayo.
for it, and we're like, oh god, that's good. Government buying land to do a thing that they promised us yonks ago. All right.
Now's the perfect time to invest in aviation.
If you want to put money into an industry right now, put it in aviation, in flying, the thing we can't do.
I, for one, am a fan of investing in industries that exist. That's why I'm a musician.
Yeah, because they actually put more money in airplanes, right? Like this is another thing the government did wrong.
Do they really think it's gonna bounce back? As
No,
big as
because
it was?
Virgin had a fucking little cry. They're like, oh, we're going to have to close. And Qantas is like, we basically are Australia, so we can't close. But Virgin's like, we're going to have to shut down. And so they're like, all right, have $100 billion or some ridiculous amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the creative industry was like, well, we literally rely on people being close together as our show. Please give us some money. And they were like, oh, here's a little bit. And the reason why that's bad is because our economy gets a whole lot more money out of the creative industry, employing
from
people
the airplane industry.
and like, yeah, encouraging tourism and shit like that, than the airplane. And I'm just like,
what are you doing? Also, I have a personal stake in that industry.
well, my sister does, and I'd just not like to see it, dissolve.
Yeah, that would be quite nice. I'll be honest. The entire industry crumbling around me as I attempt to make my way through it for the first time, and it actually continuing to exist. Yeah, that would be quite nice.
Anyway, what happened is we bought the land, the government bought the land for way more than it's worth.
Oh my god.
And you're like, all right, that's the government being incompetent. We're used to this sort of trash.
This has happened before.
This
We're
has
fine
happened
with it.
before. We can literally print money. This is all right. You know what the issue is?
What?
Guess who owns the land?
Who?
Some fucking liberal donator.
Oh god.
So it's great investment for him. He donated, I don't know, X amount of dollars to Liberal and then got more than X back getting sold land. I think it was like 40 million over.
If there's one thing that I like, and there's one thing I think we should take from the American political model, it's for-profit politics. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I don't
No,
even know.
there's nothing more that I want.
Hang on,
than
I'll give you
that.
some financial advice.
Mm.
If you want to make money, if you want to save money right now, can't put it in a bank. The interest rates have gone to shit. You can thank the RSA for that.
Mhm.
It's a good thing they did, but anyway, we'll discuss that later. Give some money, be a wealthy donator to the Liberal Party or whoever you think will win the next election, hopefully Labour, and then just wait a few years until they make a huge purchase and ask for way more, more than it's
Extra.
worth, and they'll just give it to you.
That's easy. That's basically a bank, but it gives you some extra money when you take it out. That's easy peasy.
Done. So there you are.
Rip to any listeners this episode who aren't Australian.
See, we either rip America for being a horrible country. By the way, you did do one thing right, Biden.
Oh
Better
yeah,
than Trump.
congrats to my fucking president. Well done, Mr. Joe Biden and Miss Kamala Harris. I'm proud of you both.
Oh my god.
I don't have many strong stances. I'm not a person that thinks that you should just be an asshole all the time. But if you're a Trump supporter, you can get the fuck off our podcast.
Yeah, no, I agree. We stand with Jeff here. Jeff
Yeah.
Zompimage, solid supporter of go fuck Trump. And
Yeah, exactly. Because,
it's not worth
people
it.
you gotta give both sides. You gotta be compassionate and investigate both sides. He is not representative
Of anything.
of
that I
Republicans or
like.
conservatism. He is an idiot. You are framing all your hopes on the stupidest person in your entire cabinet.
Yeah.
And you're like, you got to give both sides a chance. It's like, no, I'll give a chance to the other ones.
The
But
ones
the
that have proved
stupid ass
themselves not to
Tangerine
be a
reality
fuckwit.
TV show host that somehow lucked his way into office, I won't be giving him fucking light of day because he talks like he's an idiot. Because he is. Anyway, that's my rant for
We're
today.
glad he's out.
Mhm.
Anyway, go back to Phineas and Ferb.
Because we've been on quite a long
The
tangent.
molehills turned into fucking mountains because sure that was what he was designed to do and
Yeah, righto.
it worked.
Easy
And
peasy.
It increased the mole size as well. We had a lovely little reference at the start where she's like, things are eating my plants. It turns out to be a mole, so that's technically a molehill underneath the
Beautiful.
car wash.
Mhm.
Car wash comes up, not because of the mountain. Well, it does because of the mountain, but then the ginormous Godzilla mole has it balanced on his head and he walks away into the ocean.
As you do.
Godzilla-sized mole. And so then they were like, oh, we didn't raise much money for the charity. Ferb's like, that wasn't my plan anyway, because we just spent all this money making it. There's no way we could have made any money back out of it. It's all good, though, because he's the size of Godzilla and there is nothing in this world that can hurt him.
Yep. And fair enough. They've saved them all.
They did fuck all the same.
They did do it, but
Doof did was to save them all. But they kind of tried. They got to have a cool car wash. They got to fly around in their little...
they had fun, and that's what matters.
their brushes, like the brush that flew. They had like
Oh,
hover brush,
Beautiful.
water balloons, the ginormous water balloon that created a tsunami, made them go down like a sink in the car.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. You love to see it.
Outstanding things to these cars. Just having some fun.
Mm-hmm. Here's a couple of things. In this episode, we get to see Perry do some actual spy work.
In what way?
He's jumping through tripwires. He's going through
Oh,
doors
yeah,
that are
like-
crushing stuff. He's doing flips and rolls and shit like that.
The classic Mission Impossible.
Mhm.
Again, he's Tom Cruise coming out.
Yep, exactly.
He-
Tom
he-
Cruise. I'm willing on set to make, because everything else is a cartoon in our live action
Yeah.
adaptation, right? I'm willing to make those lasers on set actual lasers. We're not talking laser pointers. I'm talking lasers that will kill you. I'm willing to commit to that if you're willing to commit to the project. So Tom Cruise, if you're listening, hit us up.
Hit us up. We will put you in mortal danger because that's obviously what
That's
you want.
obviously what you want, right?
You saw the video where he broke his leg jumping that gap, right?
Yes, I did. It is pretty gnarly.
That's
You
in-
see the leg just go
That's
sideways.
in the movie. 'Cause they were like, fuck, we can't take another cut. We can't do another take now.
His leg's broken.
I want that more than once in our movie.
Every single stunt. We space filming like a couple months apart, and every single stunt he obtains an injury that shuts down filming for the next couple months, and we shoot it shot by shot,
what do
and
you-
every single shot ends with him sustaining a grievous injury but cutting just as the injury happens.
No. I ain't talking couple of months. I'm talking couple hours in between. Consistency in the movie. The wound stays. Don't even dress it up with makeup. It's like, you thought holding your breath for 6 minutes underwater was hard, Tom Cruise. Imagine doing that now after your leg's been broken.
But imagine how good the shot would be. Imagine the Oscars for the stunt work, right? Imagine the awards, the accolades, people going, holy shit, you really are insane, aren't you, Tom Cruise? And you're like, of course, I'm insane, I'm Tom Cruise. Like, you could do that.
He could just smash
This
it
could be your craziest, most ambitious project yet.
ever. And if he does so well, because platypuses are Australian, they might start thinking he's an Australian actor, which is even better.
Because Australian actors are fantastic.
They are.
Chris Hemsworth.
Everything
Margot Robbie?
in Australia is better except something. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You imagine being on that talk show? I'm a platypus. Do you Tom
I
Cruise
know you're
laugh?
referencing a meme.
It's just the Tom Cruise laugh. It's just
the Tom
he's
Cruise
always
laugh.
doing it. There's nothing behind the eyes. It's all in the mouth. Like you don't smile with your eyes. You smile like this. You're like just laughing at everything. You know, he says a bad joke, and you're like,
No, that's the Scientology coming out of his eyes.
Yeah,
It
the
doesn't
laser
let you
beams.
squeak. You have to have them open.
yep.
He's a crazy man.
He's a very crazy man, and I want him in our live action.
All right, I think we've sorted everything.
Oh yeah, no, I've got a couple more lines.
Okay.
Candace sees Jeremy, and she's like, "Hold on, give me 1 sec." Goes back up, and Stacey's like, "So how's it going?" And Candace is like, "Stacey, wow, I can't believe you're still here." She's been on hold the entire episode.
Can you imagine being on hold with your friends? If I
Sitting there.
if one of you puts me on hold, like Zach or you or even my close friends, I'll usually be like, "Oh, you accidentally put me on hold. Hang up." And then if
Yeah.
you want to talk to me, just call
I
me
have
back.
never used the hold function.
Oh, I have.
Because people are like, just put them on hold while you do a thing, or just hang up and recall them. No one has their phone off silent anymore, so it doesn't matter if you call them again.
Yeah, it would be fine.
Yeah, so just hang up and recall. It's easier.
But anyway, Stacey's a bit of a ledge.
Stacey's a ledge. I want a friend like Stacey. You get
I
the
want
fuck
a
out of
friend like
here.
Stacey.
I want
Stacey
Stacey. Yeah,
in this.
Stacey. Rip it to everyone below Doof in his building.
Yeah, and it establishes that there are other people in his building.
There are other tenants, yeah, and I mean you could tell that because it basically seems like an apartment. Like there's doors in the hallway.
But it's still called the Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
So does that mean
It implies a workplace.
does Doof possibly fund his inventions through a combination of alimony payments and rent payments,
Are the people below him working for him?
or are they just tenants? Is it an
are
apartment
they
building?
just tenants, or are they Does Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated actually mean, like, I'm thinking Wolf on Wall Street sort of stuff, like a financial company that gets funds and then like trades
Embezzles them.
trades them,
Trades.
and that's where the evil bit comes from. The Doof because
That
of his
makes
name,
sense.
and Incorporated because businesses.
And it's not. Okay, an entire scenario. Like my brain just ran with that thought and came up with an entire scenario.
All right, go.
You know how when a large company becomes large enough,
Yep.
they reset themselves and they become part of the big tech.
Yeah, it's
and
the
they
bit in
make-
the game where you've like won it, and
Yeah.
so then you restart with only a few of the things that you
Yeah.
had at the beginning.
So like, when every company
Game
gets
Plus.
to that level, they go minimalist and they start getting proper spokespeople and they become this like big company. I'm imagining Doof walking out. He's like, "Welcome to the new brand, DEI. Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated is gone. We are DEI now. Just the acronym. It's a minimalist font on a white background.
He's wearing a turtleneck.
We're also going to rebrand all of our applications to be the same fucking color so that it's really difficult to tell the difference between them. Google. I'm talking about Google. Why the fuck would you change the color of... Everything looks the same now. Anyway.
Gmail was fine.
It was fine.
You had a great icon creator. Then you fired him and hired some bullshit guy who thought making something new would be better. No, just perfect the colors. Make it more cartoony, or just like redesign it a tad. Don't like throw the book.
Screw everything over.
You had it great. You had it good. Why would you ruin it?
And it, like, I get the need for brand cohesion. I respect that. But I had Gmail in my red section and Docs in my blue section, and now they've all been moved to the rainbow shit subfolder, which is where things go to die. That's where I put the apps that I don't want. TikTok is in there because red and blue in the same color scheme makes it really fucking hard for me to
pink
organize
and
things.
green, but yes, it's fucking horrendous. Isn't
TikTok.
It?
No,
Is
it's
it?
red and blue.
I swear it's pink.
Yeah,
I
it's
swear
red
it's
and blue.
pink and green.
No, red and blue.
Oh, that shows you how much I care about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the Photos app is on iPhones, because the Photos app is badly designed.
Rainbow.
Yeah, and Rainbow. Rainbow shit is where good applications go to die.
Do you remember when
Fucked.
YouTube on iOS wasn't the like red with the little triangle, which by the way is good. Like,
Oh,
that's a good
fantastic
design.
logo. Yeah, YouTube's got a good logo.
Remember when it was like an old TV with the two dials, and the iOS? Like, remember
Oh
iOS
my
like
God.
2? They were good times. They should just redo it like
That's
that.
just like some big ass flashback in my brain. I've gone all the way back to
Doodle
like
jump and that sort of
2012
crap.
and
All right. Well, while you do a
Yep.
flashback, I think we should end the podcast. Been
Oh,
loving
do I-
having you on.
yes, thank you. It's been lovely to be here.
We should actually
I've-
do our sponsorship segment that we should have. That we.
Oh
always
yeah, we
have,
got to talk about our sponsors.
Yeah, we almost forgot them.
Mhm.
We would be. No, I'm kidding. We would be amazing sponsor people if they actually sponsored us.
Yep.
So right now we have nothing.
Insert your brand name here. We saw, we were adding Elon Musk on Twitter because that was what we
We're
said we were
still
going to do,
adding
and we're
him.
still doing it. We're still commenting on everything he posts. He
We'll
posted
get there
about
once.
Tesla alcohol, Tesla tequila, was it?
Yeah, I think it was tequila, and it was a lightning bolt, and it said Tesla, and I'm like,
Now-
God damn, that's something I'd drink.
Now, can you imagine, right? Elon, I know you're listening. Imagine two dickhead teenagers from Australia. Best cheers on recording.
Oh,
Clink,
oh,
do a shot of Tesla tequila.
that sounds.
That would
good.
be amazing. And it could be yours for the low, low price of literally any amount of money.
Or the bottle.
Or just send us the bottle. If you send us the bottle, I don't
Just
even
send
need
us
money.
the bottle. Don't even give us something to read. Send us the bottle.
Yep. And we
We'll
will
just
sing the
assume.
praises. Yeah. 100%.
Oh, they're missing out. They're just missing out.
Mhm.
Anyway, go to our Instagram.
Yep.
Go to our
Implications of
Twitter.
Phineas and
I
Ferb.
do enjoy Twitter if I'm there.
_Ferb. Twitter is fantastic. It's a good way to
At
go to reach us. Yeah.
_Ferb.
If you want to ask a question, a lot easier way than doing an email. Just add us on Twitter, right? Like write a tweet with an
Yeah.
@ We'll read that out on the podcast 100% because Twitter's a great platform for delivering short, snappy questions. Easy peasy.
Yep. Hit us on the Gmail.
Implications of Phineas and Ferb @gmail.com. We love
Yeah.
getting emails. We're big fans.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Good stuff.
I know what we've done today.
I know what we've done today. Handshake.
Yeah, solid.